So I just finished pulling out my spread for an update of the energies happening at the moment. So feel free to listen into this reading. I have pulled a Celtic cross with the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. This is the original tarot. So in the first position, we have the Death card reversed. The Death card reversed talks about an ending that is happening. It could be an ending between you and you, a part of yourself, a part of the past, or it could be between you and someone else. Now, what is stopping this situation or blocking this situation from working in our favor or being able to play through is the Empress. So the Empress talks about being able to allow a project, a idea to be birthed into the world. A lot of this feels like self-doubt to claim the role of Empress, to really work on your ability to create your life and create change. That you might maybe be struggling with claiming the throne of being someone that is powerful, of being someone that can help people, being someone that could be sort of like a mother figure. If it's not to someone else, like a child, it's to yourself. Being able to provide yourself through the feminine way, which is to be vulnerable, listen to your emotions, allow yourself to feel this death happening. So for the advice for this is to work through the block is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is all about let go of where there is conflict for the sake of conflict. So this could be talking about where you're looking at a situation to be more difficult than it is. You might be looking at the situation for conflict or for something wrong or for something to keep you back, reasons to hang on. So this could be you're feeling conflict between you and someone else or between you and yourself, that you are kind of creating this thing to keep your mind occupied that is distracting you from allowing this process of death, of shedding to happen. So what's happening on the subconscious mind is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is all about feeling that you are being pulled in different directions, that you need to make a decision, and you might not feel that you have all the information yet to make the decision. This feels, because it's in the subconscious mind, a bit of a self-sabotage pattern. That when you say, I can't make that change yet because I don't have all the information yet. I'm not quite confident yet. I need to do more of this first or more of that first. Sounds a bit, you're always sitting on the fence about something and you still haven't committed about choosing one side. But it might feel that you are missing a piece of information that you need to make that decision, but make sure that piece of information isn't to make sure that everything's going to be okay on the other side, because we get shit sandwiches in every situation, and for some things you just got to take a leap of faith to this next chapter. The past relevant to the situation is the World. So this is the last tarot card of the Major Arcana suit, and this tells me that the beginning has already started. It's kind of the ending and the beginning is melding over at the moment. I feel that physically or somewhere in your life you have already experienced an ending, whether it's you were ready for it to end in the past even though it hasn't yet, or physically the ending has happened, whether it's a relationship or a habit or something like an event, but there's a part of you that still hasn't quite allowed to also come to an end or to catch up with that is what is happening, and that is what is for the best, simply because it's what has happened. The conscious goings on for the situation is the Seven of Swords. It's the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is all about feeling trapped in a situation, again, feeling trapped that you can't move on. If you notice in the subconscious card and also on the conscious card, they both have blindfolds on. Sorry, I don't know if you could see that one as well. They both have blindfolds on. So that's a Two of Swords and Eight of Swords. This tells me that mentally you're making something very difficult when it doesn't have to be that difficult. And you are kind of projecting that onto either it's someone else's fault because they haven't given me the information that I need, or that I haven't experienced the kind of green flags that I need to make sure it's all going to be okay, that this death or this transformation is happening. It's okay to let go. I haven't seen all the green lights yet, and so I feel trapped because I feel trapped continuing in how I've always been. But you're never gonna always have all the information. There is an infinite amount of information that you could have, infinite data that you could collect that could make a difference on your decision. But at the end of the day, it's about trusting your intuition. So again, with their blindfolds on, they can't see out of their eyes. They're having to use their third eye, use your gut feeling that you have an inkling about that this is maybe probably a good thing, or that there are benefits to the situation that you're not looking at, and that you do actually know which way to go, but you're afraid. Maybe you doubt yourself and your ability to go through it. The Nine of Swords is in the future again. So for those sword cards that we had the 2, the 8, and the 9. So for me, what is happening again is, in the past we have the world, so something has already ended, and then in what is consciously happening and what is happening with the future card, they're the cards next to each other. So we have 8 and we have 9. So this tells me, again, the sword suit is all about what's happening in the mental, a conversation that needs to happen, the way that we think, the way that we process. Something on the mental level has not caught up with this ending. It's either a conversation that needs to be had with someone, maybe an issue that you had with them, or again with yourself. You haven't had that conversation with yourself, or you haven't allowed your thoughts to be in that transition phase. You've kind of expected yourself to just be okay with things, but you're allowing the fact that you need to act in certain ways that your mind isn't going to be ready for before your mind catches up. And that's okay. And that feels a lot like this transformation that is happening. Some of it's already started, it's already begun, but you're still hanging on to the ending somewhere out of protection in the mind here, protecting yourself from something that could possibly be worse than spending your life holding yourself back. Failure is not worse than that, guys, or being hurt is not worse than that, trust me. Feeling like you have wasted your life and hung on to things is a worse feeling. So the card in the position that is your influence on the whole situation is the Chariot reversed, having power to take the different directions. So again, we're having more theme. We have 2 of Swords here, and then we have the Chariot, which is also going in 2 different directions. So these sphinxes here, looking in different directions, different colors, could represent the 2 parts of you in conflict, or the 2 things that could 2 things you are choosing between, the 2 paths that you have to consider taking out of the decision that you have to make about this relationship with you and you, or you and someone else. So what is happening in the Chariot is this guy doesn't have a rein around the sphinxes, right? He is using the power. Notice he has all stars on the top of the curtains here. There's stars. He has a star at his head. He is very intuitive. He receives his information kind of cosmically, intuitively, and you need to look at controlling what you can when trusting that. You know, it feels like maybe a situation has been moving quite fast for you, or you have been put in the position to make a decision, and it's not about forcing the sphinxes to go one way or the other way. It's not about trying to control what you can't, or trying to control from the mind. Sometimes you need to be thinking, okay, what vibration am I putting out right now? Is it of self-worth? Is it of success? Is it of self-love? Is it of self-growth? Or is it of hanging on to the past, being in victim mode, doubting myself, having my walls so high that no one or even I can't get in? Because that is what is going to be moving these sphinxes. It is the vibration that you are putting out, what you are channeling and putting out to the universe. When this is reversed, this tells me that you either are currently or have been used to trying to force things to be the way you want to be through having these reins and kind of maybe doing all the practical things or the physical things, but you have never fully believed in your ability to influence change. It's kind of been this obsessive compulsive doing all the physical things without being truly aligned with how you actually control that chariot, which is what you believe in yourself and the vibration you're putting out, which is hugely affected by how present you are, not in the past. Or having a reason to continue defending this part of you by not allowing a relationship that was unuseful to end, or a way of perceiving, or a way of communicating, or not communicating, not allowing yourself to be heard. All the downloads. So in the position of how other people influence the situation is the Hanged Man reversed. So the Hanged Man is another major arcana card that talks about shifting perspective. So being upside down, you can have a different perspective of the world. Everything is flipped. The Hanged Man is the same kind of energy as the Fool, which is card number 0 of the major arcana. And the difference is the Fool enters on a new journey, having no experience, is kind of a bit aloof and a child in what they do and what they're doing, a little bit careless, but in a fun-spirited way. The Hangman is also like that, but he's actually been through a journey that has been quite difficult, and he is now quite aloof and fun and wants to bring play through, but has experienced what it's like to be judged, what it's like to be an outcast, what it's like for other people not to understand you or not to feel that love, and continuing to choose to be different. This to me is you're not allowing yourself to be different. You're not allowing yourself to have a new perspective or have a particular perspective that might be different from the people around you, because you would rather kind of not rock the boat, or you would kind of not go into the unknown. You would rather avoid pain, and so you're not committing to yourself. I feel that people might be making you feel a bit alienated, or you think that people will alienate you for being different, from the rest, from having a different perspective, from having something different to say, or something different that you want that is different to what other people think you want or want for you. So I feel a little bit of pressure from being different and having a different perspective there. The hope or the fear for the situation is the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel that the Queen of Pentacles in this position tells me that you want to advance in your career sector, either some stuff that you own, or you're basically getting experience of the human world. Anything material is under the Queen of Pentacles. I feel that you want to be more self-reliant. You want to be, again, that mother figure. We have the Empress and the one that is blocked, the card that is in the blocking position of the issue. And then we have another mother figure, which is the Queen of Pentacles in the hope or the fear. So perhaps the hope here is our ability to mother ourselves, but also if there is any codependent relationships with a mother archetype where you have either not fully resolved some things, or if there is a bit of a codependency there with not being able to provide for yourself, or having the fear of not being able to provide for yourself, maybe through pressure from your mum or from a mother figure in the past, some kind of pattern with money here, I feel that you want to end. Some kind of codependency or not so useful spending habits or earning habits. You want something consistent and grounded, and also to feel the being proud and feeling that you are self-reliant in the process. It feels that you don't just want the material thing, it's the feeling you want as a person to be able to provide for yourself and invest in things that make you feel good. So then the outcome of this situation is likely to be the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is all about waiting for the ships that you see here to come in. And notice how his wands are very grown and very grounded in the safe zone. So he hasn't crossed the seas. He's very much on his kind of piece of land. He's kind of put in some hard work, started plans for some things, they've started to grow, and then maybe an opportunity has come for him to go overseas. There is either an opportunity for travel or an opportunity to move on. to cross the waters of your heart and accept a new opportunity or accept a new way of being that is, again, working around either your passion for life or this relationship with you that wants more, or this relationship, this death that is happening, where this new beginning will allow you to be more self-reliant and be that nurturing part for yourself, that self-love, that self-reliance, that self-trust. And it is also going to bring an opportunity for you to feel more fulfilled in this lifetime, for you to feel that life can be on your terms, and life can be rewarding, and life can have these adventures for you. But that is not going to open up if you don't allow the end to end, whether it's something that is between you and you, a part of the past, or between you and someone else. There are ships coming in, there are opportunities coming in, but you need to be willing to get on when they dock, because boats aren't going to stay there forever. They are going to leave again. So waiting for those ships to come in, that opportunity to have an adventure. And it is going to mean relinquishing a bit of control. You know, he's going to have to leave his wands that he has grown. Maybe some effort or work that you have put in needs to be, it's time to move on. It's time to let that go. It's time to move on to something new. Just because you started something in the past doesn't mean that you need to continue with that. It isn't enough ground for you to keep doing what you were doing before if it wasn't working for you. You're not a bad person for abandoning something that is no longer in alignment with you. Again, it could be with you and you, or you and a relationship with someone or something. So yeah, so just to recap, there is an ending that is happening that seems quite deep or transformational. What is blocking the situation is the Empress. Allow yourself to give birth to a new way of being, a new identity, a new role for yourself. And something that is going to help you move through that process is to drop any drama for the sake of drama, making things more complicated than they need to be. This decision that you have to make, I feel that you have already chosen which way you want to go, but you haven't quite allowed yourself the guts to take the action to move forward before your mind is really willing to let go of the past. And I feel like an ending has already started happening, and there's a bit of trouble still happening around the mind space with accepting that and actually actioning it. Because in the past, there has been a tendency to try to gain control through force, through all the physical actions, rather than truly believing in your ability to change the course where your life is going and to make a decision about which path to take, not through your words, but through how you feel about yourself and your relationship to your past. That will show through your actions and will make the difference into whether you're going to keep going the way that you were going, which was not useful, either in a relationship with you and yourself or you and someone else, or to choose the other path, that is to choose the unknown, something new that holds new adventures for you, and opportunities have already been given, and the opportunity to be self-reliant and to show your ability to be independent. When you allow yourself to embrace this change of perspective, whether it's a change of perspective that has come across from a death, either again a physical death or a relationship, a way of being, and allowing that change of perspective to really connect you into making decisions and being how you want to be, that will leave a thumbprint on this world that you want to have, and to feel that you are making progress, and to remember that we are not actually addicted to reaching the top of the mountain. It's about making progress. So this is all kind of like a very slow energy. It's not a super fast energy. It feels like it can feel quite kind of sludgy. It's like, why is it taking so long? It's okay. Your mind wants things to be here like that, but it's a commitment process. Keep doing what you're doing. Allow the layers to fall away. Commit to a new journey or path, even if it means leaving something unfinished that you started in the past, especially if it was someone else's dream or what someone else wanted for you or what old you wanted. be open to these new layers of you, this intuition that is coming through, these hints that you are getting from others to help you continue on the path that is most important for you and useful and powerful and empowering and resourceful for you in the long term, where you can continue to grow and get better and better and better and have that for life, never feeling that, you ever want to get somewhere where you're stagnant, right? So just aim to get better and better and better. It could even be the death of needing to be perfect all the time. You don't need that. Everything is constantly changing and moving, and the best thing that we can do is allow these changes to influence our perspective about ourselves and about others, so that we can live a life of self-growth, of adventure, and of self-expression. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that reading. Again, if you have any questions, you can comment them in the box below, or you can send me a message on my Instagram or whatever. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.